Hi and welcome to the Shortcuts reporting webinar. My name's Kelly and I'll be guiding you through the most simple and effective way to look at your reports in Shortcuts and some key things to look at in these reports as well. So we're all very busy, so I know that this is just a crash course in doing a very little that will mean a lot in your business. So just by looking at these key figures, you'll be able to determine a lot of areas that could possibly need improving or rewarding. So basically from here what I want to do is I'm going to go straight into Shortcuts and show you how we're going to actually open up reports. Okay, so the learning outcomes for today is to access and read reports in Shortcuts, which is what I'm just about to show you. Then I'll go through and show you which reports are vital and why, and understand how we can compare to industry KPIs as well. So we'll go through that towards the end, and then understanding the 3 vital steps to improvement. Okay, so I'll just scoot into Shortcuts and we'll be able to have a look how to do this. Alright, so what I've done is I'm in Tools and Reports. And from here, we can basically select the report that we like. So all the reports are exactly the same to access. You just have to find one that you want. So they're all categorized. We've got appointment reports. So if I click the plus next to that, anything to do with our appointments is there. If I want business reports, they're all under there. So there's about 130 reports altogether. So we're only going through a very few of those today, and the key reports that we think that you should definitely look at more often. So I'll open one up just so you can see how that looks. So if we click on Client Card Accuracy and we click View, that will basically open that report up for us and give us the information that we need. So that's a very simple one. Some of the reports have an extra step in them, and that extra step is asking for a date. So for example, if I click on the plus next to employees, I can go down to Performance Summary and click View. Now this report won't open automatically. It'll first ask me for a date range. So I can actually just leave it set for today and hit View if I want to, or I can go and say I want to choose the last week or the last month and then hit View. And that will give me my employee performance summary. So that's the most simple way to open up a report. You can actually go in and look at a few other things as well. So if I go into View a Report, you'll notice here on the side there are options. So by default the date range is what comes up, but if you actually click on Employee, I can go in there and say, well, I just want to see this particular report for Kate. Or you can go into Miscellaneous and you can say I want to display these figures ex-tax or including tax. Okay, so these are some of the options. These options will change depending on the report. Some reports don't have any options, so just have a bit of a play with that when you actually go into a report. The other thing I wanted to show you is with all our reports, if I go back into the Client Card Accuracy, for example, with our reports, what you see is not the only information that is there for you to view. There's actually always some extra information, and you'll find this by clicking on things like details. So we're next to card complete. If I want to see who these 6 people are that have a complete card, I can hit details, and that will actually bring up a list for me. If I want to go back, I go back to the preview up here. You can print your reports by hitting print down the bottom here. If you do delve deep further into a report, so if I go into details again and I have a look at that information, if I want to print that sheet out, I actually need to hit the print button up the top here. So if you hit the print button here, that will always print the first page only. So just make sure you remember to click the print button up the top if you have gone further into a report. I'll click done again on that. You'll also find that on some reports there's also a magnifying glass. So a little magnifying glass will hover over particular results. So I'll see if I can find one in here now. So let's say hours by roster type. And I hit View. See where I'm hovering over, there's a little magnifying glass there. If I double click on that, there's often a bit more information regarding that. So then I can hit Done. and exit out of that report. So just remember to look out for these things when you're having a play with your reports next time in Shortcuts. So I'm actually going to do the rest of this presentation back in the PowerPoint because I've saved some reports and pointed out some different bits of information that you might find interesting. Okay, so I'll scoot to the next page, and the first one I want to talk about is the trading summary. So the trading summary is the most popular report that we have in Shortcuts that most people print out on a daily basis. So with this particular report, you'll find that it gives you a good summary of everything that's happened throughout the day. So basically everything from products sold, services sold, average ticket per employee, all that kind of thing. So if we work from the top, you'll see the first area here tells you all about your takings. So did we have were our takings comprised of FPOS, Visa, cash, etc. Then it breaks down any credits and refunds as well for us. It shows any discounts, any petty cash expenses, what our average ticket spend is overall, and then it gives us down here under the clients heading a bit of information about the clients that we're in for that day or for that week. So with the trading summary, you can actually run it for whatever time period you like. You can print it daily, and that automatically can be printed when you do your end of day process, or you can go in there and set a date and print it for a 6-month period or a month or whatever it is that you need. Now, if under here where it says clients, we can see we had one walk-in client, we had some new clients, and a lot of returning clients. So it shows us our percentage as well. So I think that's about 60% of our clients were returning, and the rest were comprised of new and walk-ins. It also breaks down our male, female, and children. And then if it's not marked as a male, female, or child, it will come up as unspecified. Our liabilities pop up under here as well. Up the very top it breaks down our sales. So here we see that we've had 2,277 services in that time period with that amount, and then it shows us our percentage as well. So we've done about 8.7% in retail for that period, and this period is about 92 days, so about 3 months. So we basically like to see our KPI here is about 10 to 15% normally, so this one's a little bit low. We should try and increase our product sales for this site. Okay, so when we look at our discounts, you'll see in the top blue bubble here it says, are our discounts measured? So we want to just make sure that if we do give discounts that we know what they're for. So we have to go in there and run some discount reports and actually see what every single discount was and who it was given to, because discounting is great as long as you know that it's for a purpose. It's not just staff members clicking discount for whoever they feel like it. Down the bottom here it shows us how many new clients we've had over 90 days. So we've got 12.9% new clients. Our average dollars, the KPI for that is about 10 to 15%. Okay, so average service dollars should be about 10 to 15%. And then to the bottom of this report, we've broken this up a little bit just to make it a bit easier to see on the screen here. But this part here where it says employee product service, this is the bottom of that report, and this gives you a bit of a summary as to what each of your staff members have done for the day. So we can see here how many products were sold, how many services, any gift certificates or sundry items. Then it gives you a percentage total of that. So for example, Angela at the top, her percentage was 31% of the business was done by Angela for that time period. It gives us the average ticket, how many tickets, and then the employee time spent as well. So she did 361 hours and her service dollars per hour is $67. Okay, so these are all things that we should keep an eye on and try and track within the trading summary. So I'll scoot over to the next report. This one here is a client referral breakdown. This is one of my personal favourites when it comes to marketing. This is a very important sort of report to look at when you're wanting to plan your marketing for the year or for whatever period you're planning it for. So what we can actually do is look at a period of time, and this period of time again was about 3 months. And we can see where our clients came from in that period of time. So we had 132 new referrals in that time period, which made us $12,000. And how did we actually get these clients? So this particular example has 29 for walking by. So that's shop front appeal, or you might have great signage or whatever it may be. So that's a good number for walking by. Client referrals, we're looking at about 17. And so these are the sorts of things that we should look at. So how are we actually getting our clients? If we're getting low numbers for certain things, then maybe we should reconsider doing them at all. So we've seen on the left-hand side for the period chosen, but on the right-hand side, this column actually refers to all referrals. And what that means is that all referrals ever since you've had Shortcuts installed. So this one here is just for a period selected, and this is your running total. So overall, we can see the highest number is existing client, and what that basically means is they're clients that were transferred over from an old system, or from if you didn't have a system previously. So they wouldn't have a brand new referral method recorded. But anyone new that came in since seems to be, so we've got 330 from passing and walking by, and we also have a lot for another client. So we've got another client unknown and client referrals. We can see we've got small numbers for promotions and local newspaper. So with those sorts of things, we may want to reconsider what we do if we do them at all ever again. So, you might think, okay, well, we got 5 people from a local newspaper ad, but was that effective enough for us? We made, $1,200. How much did we spend for that particular ad? Was it worthwhile? So this is our client referral breakdown, and as I said, this one here is definitely something to look at when you're wanting to know where your clients are coming from and what you can do to get more clients in different areas. Okay, so the next report here is the client retention new. So this basically tells us all the new clients that have come in, have we retained them? So with this particular one here, we can see 36 out of 53 new clients have not returned over 90 days to Christie. So that's 67%. So for some reason, our clients are not wanting to return to Christie. She's had a very high number here. So we have to then look at these sorts of bits of information and see why. What are we doing there that can be improved? And overall, our stat here is that we've got 55% of new salon clients have not returned. So we should definitely look at trying to increase that. Why are half of the clients that come in not wanting to come back again? Is it something that we're doing, or are we not perhaps inviting them back again? When I say inviting, it means like doing something like a new client email that invites them back with a coupon, or providing a new client pack, or even, consulting with the client and seeing what their issues were. We find that doing something like using our Spotlight system works great, because it sends them an automated email so they can review how their experience was, and that gives you a lot of information as to why clients are not returning. So this is our new client retention, but then you should also look at your client retention as a whole. So this one here is actually looking at clients that have come in more than once. So these are our regular clients, our existing clients, and are we keeping those clients? So we've got quite a low rate for this one too. So a KPI for this is around about 70 to even 80% is really good. So having 34% is a very low figure. So if you do have something like that, you've got to take a look at that and see why is it that we're not retaining our clients. In this particular example, we can see Christy retained 84 from 209, so that's 39%. And 34 of her clients, which is 16%, were lost to other people. So we want to see, why are they going to other stylists or therapists? Do we want that to happen? Honestly, the best sort of KPI here to look at is you want about 60% of your clients returning to that same stylist or therapist. So Naomi's figures here are quite good. She's got about 70% returning to her. Okay, and then returning to another employee, she's got 9%. So a good stat to look at is about 60 to 70% returning to the same employee. You want about 10 to 15% returning to another employee, and overall total would be great to be around anywhere between 70 to 80%. So we would always try not to have, anything more than about 15 to 20% clients lost, which is just going to happen just because of, people moving and all those sorts of things. So that's normal. You're never really going to have 100% retention. Okay, so definitely have a look at these reports and see what areas we can improve and what stylists or therapists we can look at consulting with a little bit more and giving them a bit more training to help them with their client retention. So the next thing we want to look at is the extended performance summary. So the first thing we're looking at is what percentage of time is booked. So the productivity, that is very important. So if you have your staff members working 10 hours and they're only working 2 out of those hours, 2 hours out of that 10, well, obviously they're not very productive. So we want our KPI for that to be about 75%. We want our staff members to be 75% productive. The rest of the time, obviously, there are other things that they've got to do, check out clients and clean up and all that kind of thing. But productivity, where they're actually serving clients and performing services, should be about 75%. So what percentage of service rebooking should we have? It should be about 60%. Okay, so that's what we're pointing out in the orange there. So we want about 60% of our clients rebooking, and that means that our clients will be coming in more frequently and we have guaranteed bookings. So that's why we like to have our rebooking done up front. So the next one, the third one down in purple, is the percentage of clients buying retail. So the KPI for this should be about 10 to 15%, and that basically means that we're converting our clients that are sitting in the chair to also taking a product home with them, and that means we're consulting with our client and actually providing them with the service that they actually want to. A lot of clients, they want to have that consultation and they want to know what they need to take home. So that particular stat there is our retail to service percentage. Okay, the next one here is our gift certificate sales. Okay, and the gift certificate sales here will tell us exactly how much we're doing in gift certificates. The great thing about gift certificates is that we've done some research, and people that come in using a gift certificate, they tend to buy more while they're there than someone that's coming in for a service. The reason for that is because they've already got the amount of money that they're paying on their gift certificate. So for them, buying an extra product or an extra service is not as big a hit for them, I guess, because they're already having, I guess, a free service using their gift certificate. So for you, it actually increases the client's spend. Now, the last one here is where is the money coming from, and that is your service category section right below. This one's great to look at because we can actually see what are we selling more of, what services are we providing more of, and what's making us more money, and what do we need to improve in. So this is our extended performance summary. Great one to have a look at. Okay, so we had a bit of a talk about discounts before, so this is where you can go and measure them. So this is the discount reason breakdown report, and this particular report shows you all the different discount reasons that have been used and which clients they were used on. So you can go there and check and see that, proper discount reasons are being used. You don't have anything here called no discount reason. If you have that, that means that your staff members are just giving discounts without a reason, without a purpose. If it's for a promotion, like one of these sorts of things that are up on the screen, then that's great. You're obviously, getting rid of some old discontinued stock. You've got a promotion, and you're also thanking clients for referring friends and saying happy birthday to them and giving them a gift. So these are all good reasons for giving a discount. Okay, so here we say measure your turnover versus the discount. Okay, so that's what we should look at and measure the specific discounts themselves. There is also another report called Discount Reasons by Employee, and this report here allows you to see the discount reason and who's actually done that particular discount, and you'll see an actual chart for that particular staff member. So we can see here Angela on the right hand side, her discounts reach around about the just over $500 mark. So she's done that herself within that time period. So we want to go through and see why did she give all these discounts. Okay, so always measure your discounts. If you're unsure how to set your discounts up and set up the correct types of discounts, you can go into the configuration area of Shortcuts and you can actually add new ones. So you can see there's a big new button down the bottom of the screen that we're looking at here. If you click the new button, it'll actually allow you to type a new discount reason in here. It'll allow you to set a default percentage or a dollar amount for your discount. And then you just have to tick the relevant boxes. So is it a product discount or a service discount, etc. So make sure we set up discounts if we don't already have them set up, so then we can measure them correctly. Okay, so another report that is very important is your Rebooking Breakdown report. So this report here shows us do we have a good rebooking percentage? So we were saying before that that should be around about the 60% mark. So this one's not too bad. And it also shows us which staff are doing the rebooking. So 33% of the rebooking is coming from Christy, and then it goes down from there. So we can actually go through and see, look at the actual numbers as well, see how many rebookings were done and which staff are doing the rebooking as well. Now, the frequency of visit analysis is fantastic because you can actually see how many weeks between visits. So what's the average time between visits? We see down the bottom here in green, it's pointing to 8.92 weeks between visits. We want our clients to be coming in a little bit more frequently than that, so maybe every 4 to 6 weeks depending on what services you perform in your business. So if you have a percentage or a figure like that, you should always look at that and say, okay, well, these are areas that we could improve, and are they for certain services, are they for certain staff members that we're not getting that return. So the frequency of visits all ties into the rebooking as well, because if you do rebook, then your actual clients will actually come through and visit more frequently as well. So this is definitely something to look at. What is the average time? What is the total number of visits that we've had in that time period, and what's the average number of visits? So we can have a look through that one. So lastly, the 3 simple steps for improvement is to get more clients, spending more money, and visiting more often. So these are basically the things that when you're looking at your reports you should be thinking about. So every report you look at, you can think, okay, how this one here shows me that I need my clients visiting more often, or I need them spending more money, or I need to get more clients. So by analysing your reports, you can see what you can do to improve. Keep these 3 steps in mind as you're analysing your reports, and then you can make your plan as to what sort of things you can do to improve. So if you don't have if I go back to the previous report, if I don't have good visit frequency, well, I know that if I get my staff members rebooking my clients, that'll also increase that particular figure there and make that a better result for us as well. If we need them to be spending more money, we can go back and have a look at, are we doing a retail upsell? Can we include a bit more of that? So we want to basically look at every report, keeping these 3 steps in mind. We want to get more clients, spending more money, visiting more often to be able to get a great result. So the last thing I wanted to show you, which is not actually in Shortcuts, it's our Shortcuts scorecard, and I'll just give you a little bit of an overview with that. So with this particular thing here, what we can see is we're looking at our Shortcuts smart system. So some of you may already have some of these products. We've got things like our set and forget email marketing, our online booking, our gift cards, etc. We also have something here called Shortcuts scorecard. And if I go into this, this is actually a really great summary of some of the key performance indicators that we've had a look at, and then some extra ones that are brand new to Shortcuts. So these are some of the things that we say that you should have a look at. So with Shortcuts Scorecard, it actually enables you to go in and have a look at some key performance indicators, things like revenue, transactions, weeks between visits. We can see our client retention, etc. But the key thing about this particular bit of software is that you can actually compare yourself against other people in your industry. So by being part of the Scorecard community, you will actually be placed in a community, if it's beauty or hair or clinic or whatever you may be, you'll be put into the correct community and you'll be measured against that community, and you'll be able to see how you're going against other people like you. So with this example, we can see the community line is white, and we're doing a lot better than the community. So when you see things like that, you can feel really happy with yourself and think, okay, well, we're doing something right there. But then when we maybe go into something else like the new clients, and we have a look here, we can see we're down versus the community. Everyone else similar to us in the same sort of revenue band, in the same industry, they're keeping their clients a little bit more, their brand new clients. So what are they doing that we're not? So these are really important ways to find out what you're doing right and wrong and how you can improve these things. So with the scorecard, we look at stats regarding online booking, clients. We can look at visits for our actual clients as well, and we can see down the bottom here as well what's the percentage of our visits with the retail upsell. These are great visual charts that you can then show your staff members in meetings as well. So reports are great if you want to print a few off for yourself and post them up in the back room too. But I feel like Scorecard, gives you that extra bit of information that really allows you to compare yourself against other people, because we all know that, there's so many times that we've just wondered, are we doing okay? Are we doing the same as what, other people like us are doing as well, or are we doing better or worse? So there's about 14 KPIs in here, and you get a little thumbs up or a thumbs down as to whether or not you're doing better or worse than this time last year. So all the stats are compared month on month. So we can see July 2011 is in yellow, and then July 2012 is in the orangey red colour. And we're doing a lot better than this time last year. So we've had significant growth from April to July, which is fantastic. Okay, so that's our shortcut scorecard, and I just wanted to give you a bit of a sneak peek at that. We do have a whole other webinar that explains each of the KPIs, so that's available for you as well, but I thought this was really relevant to reports, so I wanted to go through and show that to you. So I'll just hop back to my PowerPoint just to show you the last couple of slides. So we hope that now you are able to access and read reports in Shortcuts, know which reports are vital and why, understand how to compare to industry KPIs, and that's using Scorecard, and understand the 3 vital steps to improvement. So some contact information is up on the screen. So if you do have any further questions, please contact info@shortcuts.com.au. Our Facebook page is also up on the screen there for you to pop any questions on if you feel like that is what you'd like to do. We also have our Shortcuts website, which you can access more information from, and if you would like, you can also call us on 1300 667 374. Thank you so much for taking the time to hear all about this, great feature that we have in Shortcuts, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.